Yeah, obviously not an ideal situation, but I still trust that room completely. I got no doubt that whoever's going to be up in those spots is going to do their job, step up, and then help us win or help us make plays.
All right, welcome back to the Buffalo Plus channel. Mike Catalana, Jenna Cottrell, Dan Fates with a veteran day off. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. We're going to talk today about the injuries, wide receiver, what Josh Allen had to say after the walkthrough, as well as a little bit about this Broncos team heading into Saturday's divisional round against Denver. But Mike, we do have to start with the news of the day being Tyrell Shavers tore his ACL on Sunday against Jacksonville.
So yesterday we found out about Gabe, but we knew that because we were at the game and you see him walk off the field. He's in the crutches. And you're like,
he's
you knew
carted
that about
off,
Gabe.
all that.
We were in the conference room today. Sean McDermott walks in for his press conference and he announces that about Shavers. And I know I was stunned. I think everybody was stunned.
Absolutely.
Because he went back in the game. Watch the tush push. He is blocking. He's putting more effort in than some of the guys on the Jags when Josh was being pushed down the field 11 yards. He was doing that with a torn ACL. Like, he went out on the field. He got hurt on a punt as a guy on the outside, and it looked like that's where he got hurt. But he did get himself back into the game, was blocking during that play, and now he's done for the year.
Pretty absurd to think about his effort coming back in. And Sean McDermott talked today about what he saw out of Tyrell Shavers and what it means for this team.
I mean, he embodies what we're all about. I mean, I believe it happened summer of second quarter when we went out there to look at him, and for him to then come back into the game and then for it to turn out to be what it was is remarkable. Remarkable toughness, remarkable commitment to the team.
All right, so we know Tyrell Shavers is now done for the season. When you look at this wide receiver room, what's left is Keon Coleman, a guy that's been benched many times this season, 4 times this year. You also have Khalil Shakir, that we know has been a safety blanket. And then you have Brandon Cooks, who got here in week 13, but has been able to make some plays for this team. But where is that group at overall?
There's only so much attrition you can handle as a group. And this is provided these guys stay healthy. Like, I was encouraged a little bit. I saw Gabe in the beginning of the game, and then Gabe gets hurt. Shavers has been such a steadying guy. Made a few catches. We know he blocks. Like, they knew he was going to be out there. If he needs more snaps, they could get it to him. They're waiting now. I mean, look, you have Shakir.
Mm-hmm.
Keon made a play. I will give him credit. He was asked about the play today. He's like, that's a routine play. I just made a routine play. He really doesn't try to make more of that. He'll always say things like that. But he hasn't been a guy you can count on. Cooks has become that guy, so that is encouraging. But it's not just a room that doesn't have quality. It doesn't have quantity right now. And that is a big issue on a short week heading out to Denver.
It has always kind of been the Achilles heel of this team, and then to have it be that there's the injuries as well, that is a lot for this team to overcome. But Josh Allen talked after the walkthrough today about where the position is at heading into Saturday.
Yeah, obviously not an ideal situation, but I still trust that room completely. Whoever we bring up needs to step up, and we have full confidence that they will. This week is going to be very important throughout the practices that we have, of making sure that we're getting on the same page with timing and just understanding where guys can go, try to utilize their strengths to the best of our abilities. But I got no doubt that whoever's going to be up in those spots is going to do their job, step up, and then help us win or help us make plays.
Yeah, this is at the point where even Sean McDermott was asked today, you've had so many injuries this season. It feels like that much more than even in years past. And Sean was just like, yeah, that's what we just have to deal with it. Like, that's the cards that we are being dealt. We have to figure it out. But, Mike, that is such a challenge when you're already going on a short week.
I think about the way coaches react to injuries. Like, I remember we were in the press box. I'm watching. Sean came out when Shavers was hurt. And he does that with many players when they're injured. If he can, he comes out there, and he was talking to them. And I'm thinking of the way you have to react as a coach, the feeling you have for a player, the feeling you have for any of your players when they're hurt. It is a long-term injury for him.
Yeah.
But then you also have to just pivot right away and go, okay, we got to play a game in 6 days, well, now less, in Denver. And what are we going to do with this group? And I don't know if that impacts how many wide receivers they dress in the game, how they approach the position. I really have no idea. I don't know if they call somebody up from the practice squad.
They did sign Christian Wilkerson, who was with the team during camp and throughout. So there's that. But
Steve Gosnell, I mean, he hasn't ever played.
Yes,
so,
White Steve.
Yeah, so I have no idea. They are that short-handed at the position. And by the way, you've already gone out to other teams and brought in Gabe, when he wasn't, when he had been released, and then you brought in Brandon Cooks.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of guys out there that you could bring in now to play.
Now, the hope is that Curtis Samuel will be ready. You got to talk to him today, right?
And look, he's saying, I feel better. It was good to be out with his teammates, because I asked him about that. It's like, you want to ramp up, but there's no real time for it. And then you also say, how do you really test it? And I do think he's a player. He said, I've been in this league for a while. I know my own body, and that's true.
Yeah.
I think if he can, I think he will be out there. I think it's been close. Let's see if he can play. But, normally they open up that window. They get a week or two to practice. There ain't no week or two to get ready.
Well, another guy that they're hoping can be ready in under a week is Ed Oliver.
Yeah.
What could he be for this team?
I do think there's certain positions, like if you were a left tackle or a right tackle and you're expected to go out there and play 65 snaps in a game, that's asking a lot. You don't usually rotate there. But at defensive line, I do think if a player can go out there and give you 15, 20 snaps, I think they would do it. I think he feels good. I ended up talking to a few people today. I talked to Ed, too, and asked him about what could happen. What about Saturday? I know it's quick, but
we'll see. I just started walking through today, so we'll see. I'm optimistic. I'm excited, but I don't know yet. So
I think he feels pretty good. He said he's feeling really good. He also said, I got to spend time with my little boy, and I realize how much my wife does at home. He's like,
well,
my girl
I love
does.
That for her.
She's doing all this stuff. He goes, man, that doesn't get done by itself. So it's good for some, understanding of the way the world works. But now he's back here and he's practicing with his team, and he wants to help. I just don't know if they really will know. I think if they feel like he's not going to do more damage or could compete, I think he's going to play.
You know what strikes me about Ed, too, is for some of these guys, when they get injured, they're focusing on their rehab, which I know Ed was, but they're not around the team as much.
Yeah.
We saw Ed a lot over the last couple of practices that we were able to see him walking around, him talking with his position group, joking around, like going through air, kind of the same types of drills. So for Ed, it's he loves it. He's just, and for the Bills' sake, they're hoping he can be back. But you're right. I think those limited snap counts and having the ability to maybe go off of that could be huge for this team.
Because he had the bicep injury, and then he had a knee. He said the knee was good, so all that's good. And shouldn't the horse guy come back against the Broncos?
Oh, I didn't even think about
Look
that.
At that. This
Look
mind,
at you.
That's the way it goes. It's something Dan would say.
That is. Speaking about the Broncos, Denver, elevation, that's another thing that's kind of been a talking point this week. Now, Josh Allen was asked about it. Obviously, in Wyoming, you play at elevation. He was asked, essentially, does that help you, or can you draw anything off of that? Is that real? And he's like, we can't focus on that. We got to be prepared, which I think there is a real element of that. And even Sean McDermott was like, yeah, that is real.
Right.
That exists. But I agree. You can't focus on that because at this point, that is another thing that's out of your control.
Yeah, and sometimes when people go skiing or things, right, they try to acclimate for a day or two. They're not going out early.
No, they're not.
They'll be out there Friday. They'll play on Saturday. So I do think it is real. I do think people can obsess over it a little bit. Maybe that's the wrong word, obsess, but just have it too much front of mind.
I agree.
And just
I
go
think
play.
It is real, and you can prepare for that, but also the understanding of you can't change that. So I feel like you can't, put so much thought into it and be like, oh, I feel terrible. It's like a mental thing too.
Right.
When you don't feel well and you're like, oh, I feel terrible because of this. Sometimes you can kind of perseverate on that and be like, oh my God, I can't believe this. But for this team, it is real.
What was that word?
Perseverate?
Is that a word?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay, this is in real time because I heard that and I thought, you might be right. Let's see.
I don't even know how to spell it.
Oh, what does it mean?
What does it mean?
Obsess over?
Yeah, obsess.
Obsess sounds like that word. We can,
Okay.
we can hold off.
My Wi-Fi is not. Yeah, repeat or prolong an action, thought, or
Credit
utterance
to you.
after. Yeah. Yeah. Percepherate. The more you know with Buffalo Plus. Okay, so that is a word. So
Good.
there's that. All right, more in terms of the injury report. So Josh Allen, Dalton Kincaid, Terrell Bernard, AJ Epinesa, Matt Milano, Greg Rousseau were all limited today at the Bills walkthrough, where Jordan Poyer, Max Hairston, Ty Johnson, and Matt Prater did not practice today.
Yeah. I think Prater's going to kick. I think some of those other guys, I don't think Poyer's going to play. Like when you look at it, I mean, we see like unless they can play wide receiver, but it's not about that. I'm kidding. I'm just saying I think they are a beaten up team, but they're a resilient team. They're a tough team, and I think we're listed as full participants today.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
Dan's out.
Dan was limited.
But he'll be back. Dan will be back full tomorrow. Oh, he'll have some takes.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
All right, so just so you guys know, we are going to all be out there in Denver. We'll have reports starting Thursday, Friday. We are planning on doing a live pod that you guys can see on the YouTube channel. Friday, we'll post it. We'll let everybody know. Probably around the 6:30 Eastern time, and then maybe something on the field before the game. We want to keep everybody engaged, get their opinions out there, so we will let you know.
All right, anything else you want to say?
No, I don't think so. This team, it's like they just got to make it work.
Yeah.
No matter who's out, no matter what's going on, the advantages will be for the Broncos. They've rested. They're at home. They don't have Josh Allen.
Yeah, I think it's that simple. So we'll have to see. We'll have plenty more coverage here as the Bills getting ready to take on the Broncos Saturday in the divisional round. For Mike Catalana, I'm Jenna Cottrell. Thank you so much for joining us. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. We will catch you next time here on Buffalo Plus.